Alright, Terminator Salvation came out yesterday. I saw it yesterday. Conveniently, it came out on a Thursday. So that gives me time to see the other movies I want to see this week, like Night at the Museum and Dance Flick, which I'm probably going to see tonight. So you can look forward to that, I guess. The other Terminator films, believe it or not, I don't like the first one all that much. I just think it's okay. I can understand why people really liked it back in the day, because, you know, it would establish, you know, more for special effects and all that, but, you know, just watching it now, I just think it's pretty dull. Second one, it's good, but it's a little bit overrated. I can't help but say it's a little overrated, because, you know, it's so often proclaimed as, like, one of the greatest action movies ever made, and it's just not. It's good, but I don't think it's all that great. Third one was pretty much crap. This one was okay, you know, just okay. You know, great visuals. I also think there was really missed opportunities for those visuals, because the camera work is often just insane. There was a scene where, you know, Christian Bale's flying away in this helicopter, and the camera never pans out or anything. It just stays focused on this helicopter and follows the helicopter. And some of the camera work was really terrible, I'm going to be honest. But the biggest problem is just simply the story, really. The story is not strong enough and is not consistently carried out throughout the film. It does eventually get a little bit of a story, but it's just really simple. And for a movie that has a complex and intelligent backstory, you know, which was the first three films, and although I don't like the first film very much, you know, it did have an intelligent story. It does have a great setup. And this film has that story to work with, but it just doesn't. I mean, good old McG is basically like, screw that, let's have another action scene. The bit of story we really get here is, you know, Christian Bale wants to find Kyle Reese, because it's his dad. He needs to send him back to the past so we can protect his mother and eventually get her pregnant. And that's really it. I'm not going to give anything else away, but there's really not much of a story here. And if they're making two other films, if they're making a new franchise, this film was pretty pointless. I'm going to be honest. It was really just action scenes. Some of them were cool. Some of the action scenes were really cool. Some of them were just nothing but loud and obnoxious and ruined with terrible camera work. I mean, really, the camera work really got on my nerves in some scenes. And really, this movie is just nothing more than just an okay action movie. Definitely could have and should have been more. You know, with this story they have to work with, it really could have been a really smart, intense movie. It was just a pretty good action movie. You know, some of the action was good, special effects are cool. You know, I like the end when they go to Skynet, you know, and you get a little Arnold Schwarzenegger action for a 2 seconds, but when I saw his face, I basically crapped myself. But I do think it's a tad bit disappointing. Don't get me wrong, I know I'm picking at it, but I would say I liked it. It's pretty good. I would say if you already were planning on checking it out, still check it out, but lower your expectations. Just expect a good action movie, because it's really nothing more. If you weren't planning on seeing it, no, it's not all that good. You probably won't like it if you weren't thinking on seeing it anyway. Christian Bale did a pretty good job, but John Connor just wasn't very compelling. You know, they kept going back to, you know, this new guy named, like, Marcus, and played by Sam Worthington, I think. And, you know, Kyle Reese played by, you know, the foreign Russian dude from Star Trek. I keep forgetting the actor's name. And the scenes where they two met, I thought that was really interesting. I like how it was character-driven. And it took a break from the action. But then, you know, they separated, it just turned into more action. And there were just big long points where nothing was all that interesting. I just can't help but say that for the most part, this movie really just wasn't anything more than just an excuse for cool action. You know, I'm sorry, but there's just nothing else driving it. You know, they have cool characters. They mainly screw that over. They have, like I said, they have a great story to work off of, and they're like, no, action, yay! This movie is basically the definition of mindless action. I don't know, I feel like I'm being too hard on it, because it's not a horrible movie, it's actually pretty good, but it is disappointing. I'm sorry, but yeah, but check, you know, it's a summer movie. I don't think I'm expecting too much. You know, they have all this stuff to work off of. They have Christian Bale. And Christian Bale didn't really have much to work with, I'm going to be honest. You know, some of the dialogue really sucked. And Christian Bale's really not in it very much. Surprisingly, I thought he was going to be the star of the movie. There was a lot that he wasn't in. I liked summer action movie, you know. It's fun, cool action, but just simple and forgettable. Overall, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.